back, everybody, to another episode of Four Guys in a Mic. I am your Afro-Brazilian Justin. We got our anime lover, Josh.
Squad.
We got our food connoisseur, Brian.
What's up, y'all?
Like, have you ever heard of chicken connoisseur?
Chicken connoisseur?
Yeah. Like, he reviews chicken.
You should chicken?
Yeah, on
I'm not
YouTube.
Gonna just review chicken.
But you should review food on YouTube.
Right.
You can't go
be crushing.
You can't do wrong with that good chicken.
Hey,
I could review food, but like, you feel me?
hey, quick question. Have you ever noticed that Brian like Dr. Eggman a little bit with the glasses?
He really
does.
because I don't.
Huh?
I really do.
With those glasses?
I feel like you talking about yourself.
Nah, with the glasses that you had, you like Dr. Eggman.
All right, and the guy you hear right now is our conspiracy theorist, Silver.
I'll take it. I wouldn't say theory because the stuff is on. It's not a theory if it's on the books, but you know, I'll leave it there.
please do. All right, so we're gonna. Well, before we get started, just want to thank you guys for sticking with us. Thank you for listening to our episodes. Definitely share with anyone that you think may be interested in it. Share it on social media. Share it with your grandma, your uncle, your second cousin, your first cousin, whoever, your friends,
your significant other.
Definitely share it with everybody that you.
Baby fathers, baby mothers.
No, we don't.
Baby
I mean, if you're
I'm not promoting the lifestyle. If you want, you can say inmates as well. We're not promoting prison.
It's all good terms. I don't know.
All right, so we're gonna thank you guys, and definitely subscribe, definitely promote, and so we are going to get into the first segment of every episode, which is what did I peep. If you're listening to this episode or to this podcast for the first time, for this segment we like to think back to what happened in the week. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in 1 week, and so we like to kind of think back to what happened during the week, kind of talk about it, kind of laugh over it, talk about serious stuff. And so I'm gonna hand it. Well, actually, it's a topic. We don't really have a scenario. Well, we don't really have to explain anything this time. And so if you do not know, if you're a gamer, you should have known that the PlayStation 5, the PS5 came out. And so PS5, what do you guys think?
Bruh, it's November 21st, 2020.
You better get that joint.
If you don't got a PS5 yet, you ain't gonna get one anytime soon, bruh. That joint's sold out.
Has it always sold out like as the other game systems?
I don't know if it sold out more this time because of the hype. I don't know.
Like what makes the PS5 that much better?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That much better than what?
Like it's a system. Like,
better than the PS4?
Or this is like a natural reaction to a system. I don't play.
I mean, a system. I feel like the thing with systems is like, let's say with iPhone, let's say something as popular as the iPhone, instead of Apple doing refreshes every year where people get sick and say that nothing changed, they said we're not going to release another iPhone until 5 years from now.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Then the hype will be.
Crazy.
I see.
Okay.
So it's like, it'll just be like, damn, like we waiting for this joint. You got keynotes. So now when people watch Apple keynotes, they're actually pressed to see what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, people don't care because they're going to say their fancy lingo and say we added another camera. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
With the PlayStation models, like, oh, we got extra teraflops and terabyte memory and all that.
They added Halo to PS5 now.
Oh, they did.
Word?
Yeah, exactly.
They
Yeah.
did. So we're about to get that shit.
No.
You sure, bro?
Yeah, that's what I heard from multiple
I don't
sources.
think that's an Xbox
Multiple
exclusive.
No.
Exactly, that's the point. Okay,
Is it true? Google it. Google it.
Okay,
I'm
Google
gonna
it.
fact check.
Google it. But this is what I heard from multiple sources, that Sony and Microsoft has actually became I don't say closer, but they actually
Like a merger.
not a merger, but they became not a partnership. So over the years they've been really competing against each other, but now they're friends. I'll say they're friends.
Okay.
And so PS5, quote unquote, from multiple sources said that they're
Someone
actually
says nope, nah.
No.
Halo Infinite on PS5 is not coming to that gen.
Well,
That's
that's tragic.
Wasn't the last Kingdom Hearts game on Xbox as well, or no?
I'm not sure.
So
Okay,
it wouldn't make sense Xbox to work with PS5.
The competition.
Like for them to do that, like that defeats the allure of a system, a certain system loyalty, because that's a problem Xbox is having now, that they don't have enough exclusive games for the Xbox, while the PS5 has like a couple, like the Spider-Man Miles Morales, that's only for PS5.
Yeah.
And people are like, dang, that thing looks tough.
Mhm.
Especially, it's a black main character, Spider-Man. People
Yeah.
love that.
The one thing I'll say about the PS5, I have seen a lot of funny memes on Facebook. That's one thing. Like the funniest joke I would say is like a woman proposing to a dude with a PS5 in his hand, and the dude was crying. He said yes, and then like the caption said, "Fellas, know your worth." That joke was hilarious. But
Would you marry a woman for the PS5?
what?
That's a joke.
I'm saying if she proposes with the PS5, like would you?
I would not marry one who proposed to me at all.
Point. Yeah, you're right. Good point.
No.
Like, what's up with
That's good. That's a really good point. That's a really good
But
point.
I've seen a lot of memes like that.
you should have a clown costume if something like that would happen to you.
I've seen that happen, but I've seen like women propose to men, and like honestly, if you ever get secondhand embarrassed, you can look this up on YouTube. You gonna get secondhand embarrassed by how many dudes be rejecting these women on YouTube, bro. I was like, you kind of punishing. I'm like, dang, bro. It's just watch it on YouTube. These women be sick as a
And
mother.
nowadays, people are gonna be sick. And they're like, what's wrong with female proposing? Yeah.
Well,
That's a different topic, but the PS5.
Yeah.
So are y'all gonna get it?
No,
I'm gonna get that joint, just not now.
I'm not a gamer. I'm not a gamer.
Yeah, I think I
so
retired. I retired
can't
the
justify
pads.
it.
I've
Do you-
retired.
Okay, I want to ask this question. When the iPhone comes out, do you get a new iPhone?
Every year.
Not every year, but like newer generations.
If I feel like my phone is lacking and it doesn't keep up with my daily usage.
So what phone do you have now?
iPhone 10R.
What happened to the last phone you had?
I had an iPhone 6.
Okay,
And it was cracked, broken, destroyed.
you got it.
I'm done with video games. The
Yeah,
last
makes
game I
sense.
actually bought was like either Saints Row 3 or Modern Warfare 3, and that was like 2011. So like I don't have time.
I feel like PS5 it has hit a place where it's so, number one, the waiting for it was needed, meaning like people waited for that joint for a while. Even like I think last year there was already posting anticipation for the PS5 coming out. So when it finally dropped, and we heard all these things this past year about how great the PS5 is, it's kind of like, and people are saying it matches the hype. It's kind of like whether you're a gamer or not, I mean, I'm not really a gamer. I still get that drink.
People gonna get it for Christmas still.
One more answer. PlayStation and Xbox.
PlayStation.
Brian.
One word
I can't
answer.
really-
One
word
answer.
I mean, I'd probably slide more toward. Dang. The PS5 is pretty cool, but I think I might slide towards the Xbox.
The Xbox is a box.
Only because
One word answer.
One word answer.
Xbox.
Yep, PS5 or Xbox.
It's Xbox.
Xbox.
I'll say Xbox, but that's not because I think Xbox is far superior than PS5.
But you know the new Xbox is literally a box.
Yeah, and it can fit inside your cubby instead of PlayStation 5 where you have to put on a stand.
But it's a box.
that's
Anywho,
perfect.
Yeah,
It looks like a router.
Anyway.
It's a box. It's called a box. What's wrong
I
with that?
say just PlayStation. I never wanted to put batteries in my remote, but
Right. Okay. All right. So we're gonna move into our main topic of the episode, and so it is the most wonderful time of the year. So we are
Say something. Say something.
Of the year.
we are gonna be talking about Christmas and whether it's overrated or not. And so I'm gonna hand it over. Actually, I guess Silver and Josh, you guys can kind of start it off. Yeah. Why do you guys? I guess Christmas, is it overrated? Yes or no? What do you guys think?
The older that you get, you understand that Christmas is very, 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 very overrated, and some things are just not necessary. And it's like, I want to use the word that Shannon Sharp uses, a bunch of bull jive. That's what I somewhat describe this holiday. The best thing right now as an adult, as Christmas to me, is the eggnog. I love eggnog. I'm a sucker for it. That turkey eggnog. But number one reason why Christmas is slightly overrated. Number one is right after Thanksgiving. When I say right after Thanksgiving, and mind you, America and also other countries, let's say Australia. That's a continent, right? Australia.
It's a country too.
Oh, both?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, go figure. All right. One thing as far as like it's overrated is that it's right after Thanksgiving. I'm talking specifically about the food wise. The food don't got the same impact as it did the month before.
Facts.
It don't have the same impact, and there's no turkey. It's just ham. It's the main meat, and ham is very very overrated. That's number one.
I actually want to go off of that.
Go ahead.
So the fact that Christmas is literally you'll find Christmas things and Christmas being talked about before Thanksgiving and after Thanksgiving. I want to ask you, young gentlemen, what would you prefer, Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Christmas.
As an adult?
As an adult?
As an adult? As a child? As an adult?
As an adult?
I think a lot of
Christmas.
People, a lot of people in the USA.
I would prefer Christmas. Too.
Why? Give a reason. Because I feel like you're just saying Christmas.
Let's not get into why we actually think.
No. Because for those listening, you see what they're trying to do. Because they know I'm gonna.
Let's not get into why we think it's.
The point is, Christmas has no value except for gifts. To be honest,
exactly.
Thanksgiving, you get good food, good family time. It's a great day. It's a great day. But yet you got Christmas. You have Christmas being talked about more than Thanksgiving. When it's not that tough.
It's the same exact thing. It's the same exact as an adult. It's the same exact. Thanksgiving is the same exact thing as Christmas as an adult without paying money for gifts.
Facts.
The same exact thing.
That's facts.
Your family, your food. Actually,
the food is actually better.
Christmas food is worse because there's no turkey.
You know, I'll probably give you guys that the food may be slightly better.
Slightly. But you never hear nobody talk about Christmas.
That's true. Then that's why I say I would agree that it's better. But keep on going with your point. So why?
That's it. That's it for my food.
That's your only.
That's all you're gonna go.
No.
That's your tangent for now.
I mean, it's all of them. All of them.
We don't have to. Do you want to? How do you feel?
I want you guys to respond to that first.
Okay, so why? What was the question?
I feel like you guys are saying Christmas.
Okay, so what was the question
again?
Do I enjoy Christmas or Thanksgiving more?
Yes.
Okay, traditional, like over the years, or the what, like
as your life as a young adult,
my whole entire life, or are you talking about where I'm at now?
As an adult.
Where am I in this season now?
Because you can be
okay. Where am I?
You have more leeway to say. I'm just saying you can have more leeway as a child because you're getting gifts.
No. I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna let y'all go and answer.
So keep going.
No. Let me answer the question. Thanksgiving, yes. In this season of life, I'm in my mid-20s, right? Going close to 30. Not there yet. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would prefer how Thanksgiving is situated in terms of that season of life, because when you get to that age, you're more likely to have to buy gifts, and the childlike enjoyment of Christmas is not there. That's all I'm gonna say.
So
I'm gonna let y'all. Yeah, I'll say Thanksgiving.
Okay, JP.
I would want to say Christmas, because here's the thing about Christmas. Christmas is not only. I want to say this, and I'm not too sure how you guys are viewing Christmas, because this is the way I view Christmas.
Exactly.
Christmas is not just celebrated on the day. There's a period of Christmas that's celebrated. And that whole period, there's a lot of stuff that goes on that makes it enjoyable.
Define that period. You mean like the whole month of December?
You really want us to go into that?
No.
Yeah,
we know it's talked about a lot.
No. It's time. I'm just saying, like, when it's time for us, it's like Stephen A. I let you talk. So y'all go talk, and then we gonna come with y'all.
Go ahead, bro.
As far as what?
Huh?
Or what?
As far as keep on going.
Okay,
with your points.
name all.
Keep on going.
Number 2, gifts. The fact that people feel obligated to pay for gifts on a specific holiday and go into debt is dumb. Number 3, this is probably the second year of Thanksgiving. It's probably one of like the only season where people only care about the homeless or the less fortunate at this time of year instead of all year round. And the last one, you have to decorate stuff and then take it off at the house. And that's it.
That's it. Do you have anything?
I mean, there's so much to say. To be honest, is the point of Christmas I think Silver says it finally. The point of things is Christmas is unless you're a kid, unless you're a child,
Kid is a goat.
you're not really benefiting from it.
Okay.
You can say, okay, no, hear me out. You can say, okay, me as a young adult, I can get gifts, but guess what? You probably get one or two things. You might get a controller. You ain't gonna get a PS5. Maybe you might get a PS5. You probably won't, to be honest. But let's say you get a jacket, and that's it. Maybe watch a couple Christmas movies, but that's it. Thanksgiving is an experience that before you even get there, you're already prepared for it.
Well,
You think of, oh, I'm waiting for that mac and cheese.
hallelujah.
I'm waiting for that chocolate cake.
Preach it.
I'm waiting for all this food because I know when I get there, it's going to be a great experience.
Amen.
And when you're there, it's what is it called? Euphoria or something like that.
Euphoria.
Euphoria. Thank you. Euphoria.
Joyous.
It's joyous.
Fruit of the spirit. Joy.
And even after, you still think about the Thanksgiving food. And that's one day. But guess what? Thanksgiving don't get the same amount of hype of Christmas. Why? Because it's Christmas.
And gifts, and also another reason why it's overrated. Parents are literally teaching their children. They're lying to their children, and you're teaching your children to become a liar by saying some fat white man named Santa.
That's facts.
So you're there.
Okay.
So some fat man named Santa. I ain't gonna get to the history of Santa. Just prepare if you just without the end of the teeth, Satan. But that's a different story for a different day. But you're teaching your children a lie. You're saying a man. Most of y'all don't even have chimneys. So you're saying a man came down a chimney with no chimney, and saying that he ate some milk and cookies and then left some gifts. So you're teaching. So you're lying to your children.
And not only that, you're teaching people to be ungrateful. People become ungrateful, right? Because last Christmas, you gave me a PS4 and you gave me an iPhone, but this Christmas you only gave me socks. I'm ungrateful for that gift. And so Christmas, unlike Thanksgiving is meant for what happens. Thanksgiving, you're being thankful. You know what I'm saying? You're being thankful. Christmas, it's like, oh, I need this. I deserve these gifts. Why does all that selfishness and that what was it that line? Why is that being promoted and seen as hype? Why? Because people like Christmas.
And last
It's
thing,
overrated.
with Santa Claus, you're teaching your children the works-based salvation.
Facts. Works-based salvation.
You only get the rewards.
Preach.
You only get the rewards. Amen. You only get the rewards if you behave. Not that, unlike our God, who imputed unto righteousness, even though we were sinners. I'm done. Go ahead,
Hallelujah.
Brian, do you have anything to say
Hallelujah.
in response to what they said before we actually get into why it's not overrated?
Oh man, guys! I wish you could see us because I'm smiling cheek to cheek. I'm sorry that you had to bear with my silence while these guys were going on their essay, their soliloquies that made absolutely no sense. I know those of us who are listening at home are like, I'm waiting for these guys to get blasted. So like, number one, I'm gonna go on Silver's point because I kind of want to be organized with this. You brought up the food. Since when do we look at Christmas as a part of the food? The food is the least significant part of Christmas, which is why it's not overrated, which is why it's above Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is fully situated around the food. Without the food in Thanksgiving, there is no Thanksgiving. All the goodness in Thanksgiving is eliminated if you don't have the proper dishes at your Thanksgiving day. How many parties have we been to where there are certain Thanksgiving, they didn't have all the necessary dishes? We just had our episode about Thanksgiving dishes. If we had just had green beans, unsalted mashed potatoes, and if we had some spinach and our turkey is dry, is your Thanksgiving good? Are you still having a good time? Let's say your football team is playing against the Washington team. They're not the Redskins no more, but the Washington team, and they get blown out. It's not enjoyable no more. So football's not even enjoyable depending on your teams, because sometimes they have sucky teams to play on Thanksgiving. So that's two things with Thanksgiving. Let me tell you why Christmas.
Can I interject?
I gave you time. You had your time. Look. With Thanksgiving, with Christmas, what makes it not overrated is the very fact of, we talked about the food, but then let's talk about the gifts. You brought up the gifts. People await, people anticipate what they're going to get at Christmas Day. Some people are looking forward not only to the gifts, because I'm going to go over a couple of things. Let me tell you all the anticipation with Christmas that no other holiday has. You're awaiting gifts. you're awaiting extended family time. There is no other holiday where you have that much family time.
I was gonna bring that up.
People have an anticipation before the month even arrives. People have an anticipation with their budgets when it comes to Christmas, which they're willingly set apart so that they can lavish their loved ones with gifts of showing love, joy, and kindness. So that's 3 things, right? Did I say 3 things or 2 things?
That was 2.
2 things. Okay.
I said.
Not only that. Hold on.
I was going to say my point to you to make sure you get it.
Okay.
Yeah. What did you say?
I said this is only the one of the besides Thanksgiving the only season where people actually care about the less fortunate.
And the interesting thing is that doesn't make it overrated. You know why?
Why?
Because we need something like that. Because if we have holidays that don't make us think about other people, that doesn't make us take introspection on ourselves, to be like, am I being a good person? Now, forget all the religious aspects of it for a quick second. If we don't have something that makes us look in ourselves to be like, am I caring for my neighbor? Am I worrying about the less fortunate? Am I gifting and lavishing things on my loved ones? Am I spending time with my family? Am I showing care to those around me? Christmas incorporates all that. Regardless of you're taking it from the religious Christianity aspect or whether you're coming in from the worldly aspect, it makes you think about those things. Not only that, if I come into the Christian aspect of it, hey, how's it overrated if, I'm not going to get into Jesus being born on a day or anything like that. But if Christians choose that to be the day they want to worship the birth of their Savior, they're anticipating the birth of their Savior. Just like you're reading the gospel story and hearing about the birth of Jesus. If you want to take it to the Santa Claus route, that's the month of December is when they start playing what? All the Hallmark movies, all the Christmas movies, all the movies that kids want to sit down and watch. What are the names of the movies? The Grinch. Mr. Grinch. It's teaching you a lesson of not being a greedy, selfish person. So I don't think making people being better people during a certain time of the year that no other holiday does to be good. And if we're talking about family time, Christmas invokes more family time than Thanksgiving could, because that's like a one-day thing, then Black Friday happens. And that time you're worried about getting deals. While Christmas comes and you're worried about, Christmas extends from a week or maybe that whole month, even up to New Year's. That's part of it. Up to New Year's.
First and foremost.
Even if New Year's Day is a different day, even if New Year's Eve is not included, it's up until New Year's Eve that the Christmas spirit lasts. I'm gonna keep going in, but I'm gonna take a break for right now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Don't forget we gotta let Justin respond.
No, he mentioned a lot of my points.
Okay, first and foremost, you said family time.
Yes.
Family time on the Christmas calendar. It all depends on what day on the calendar that Christmas is landed on. So Christmas without taking extended leave from work. Let's say Christmas on a Tuesday or Monday. That means that you probably take more extended leave from work and take off more personal days. But as far as Thanksgiving, since Thanksgiving is on the Thursday, you got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's 5 days to spend with your family there, buddy boy. Then, as far as you said, food is still a part of the meal. Name me one Christmas gathering you still go to people's house to eat. Am I right? True, false, your name.
On Christmas?
True, false. Do you or do you not go to people's house? The average person go over to people's house to eat. Yes?
Sometimes, yes.
No, it's not sometimes.
No, sometimes you're with your own family. Sometimes you are with your family, period.
But either way.
Sometimes Thanksgiving is more like we're inviting people over to be a family thing. While Christmas is like you can go with your whole family or you can be just your immediate family.
But either way, food is still part of the gathering. No one gathers with family. No one
It's not a major part. It's the least significant part of Christmas. No one thinks about Christmas and thinking about food. You know what they're thinking about? Actually, they are thinking about food. They're thinking about cookies. They're thinking about baked goods. They're thinking about making Christmas cookies. All that stuff, right? You're not worried about that in Thanksgiving. You worried about your cornbread. You worried about the mashed potatoes and turkey and making sure the turkey is juicy. In Christmas, you worried about them baked goods, the Christmas flavors.
No,
right?
People still gather around the table for Christmas. Okay, they celebrate. Also, the gifts part. Now, analyzing the gifts. Some people, now you said as far as the spirit of giving and stuff like that. Now, let's flip it on the opposite. It's the most self-centered. It's one of the most self-centered holidays ever. Now you keep saying as far as like if Jesus Christ is his birthday, which right? If this is his birthday, now that's the only birthday in which he don't get a present. everyone else gets presents.
Facts.
Everyone else
That's
gets presents besides them. And guess what? Without those, if you don't get a gift, or if a person don't get a gift or something like that, guess what? Their feelings are hurt. They feel like they don't matter at all. And guess what? And some people are obligated to prove their love and their worth by going to debt, and they're still paying off loans from last Christmas, from buying stupid gifts for only one day. And guess what? And those gifts that you're talking about, it's the epitome of sin. You're only happy for a season, because next week it loses flavor and the savor. Now,
I got a quick question.
Go ahead.
With all that, people go into debt. People who are self-centered, they don't give any gifts to Jesus, which show me a place where we ought to be giving gifts to Jesus. I don't know what gifts you're talking about. But the gift of sacrifice. I don't know. Like, what can you give unto the Lord that He hasn't given us? I don't know. But I'm not gonna get into that. But just a quick question. How does that make it overrated? Isn't that what makes it rated the way it's supposed to be? Isn't that what makes it so great? Is that people are willing to forget, just like marriage. Think about all the good things people get in debt for. People don't always get in debt for things that are bad. Sometimes people get in debt for good reasons. That doesn't mean that it's smart, but people get in debt for school. People get in debt for marriage, wedding rings. People get in debt on their houses, on their cars. So it's a combination of things you need, things that are noble, and things that are good. And Christmas is so great that people are willing to forget about their debt and go into deeper debt just to have the spirit of the holiday happen.
You know what's interesting?
Your face.
You're so annoying. I don't know if anyone experienced this, right? It's actually something that's funny. I was looking for an apartment with Justin, right? And I was showing Justin all these pictures of how beautiful these apartments looked. And he said, look in the inside. Are they gonna look the same way in the inside? Right?
Whitewashed tomb.
And I feel as though that you're painting this beautiful picture of Christmas, right? But inside, it matches nothing like that.
What's the inside of Christmas?
I want to ask you this question, right?
Ask it.
You said all these things are Christmas, right? When the last time you experienced that?
When's the last time I experienced
all
that?
of those things that you mentioned.
Oh, so we're bringing it to personal stories. Personal.
Oh, okay. No. I don't want to get personal. I don't want. Let me see.
You asked me a personal question.
Let me retract that. I'm gonna retract that because I don't want to get personal. But in your opinion, do you think that what you presented happens to most Americans during Christmas? During Christmas.
I'll say this: in Christmas time, what happens on the inside is more legit than what happens in Thanksgiving. Here's why. It's because Thanksgiving is seated. If you have a family and a family that wants to come together and operate in Thanksgiving, that will happen, right? Some people don't have those families. Now, some people may have soup kitchens and things that will provide that for them, but people can come to the Thanksgiving table fake. People come to the Thanksgiving table with family feuds. Now, I'm not saying that can't happen with Christmas, but the thing with Christmas, it makes you more introspective. It makes you more introspective because it's all seated around giving to those who don't have, to give into those who you haven't given maybe all year. And the thing about Christmas is that the experience of, I think the inside of Christmas is just as good on the outside, because sometimes you could go as far as to say that some people who go as far as to decorate their house, create a Christmas tree, the environment of putting up a Christmas tree, especially if you have children. Most people will put up a Christmas tree when they have children, when they have a family. Why? Because they know that preparing the house for Christmas, putting up the lights, putting up all these lights at night, putting up the Christmas tree, putting the ornaments together, adding gifts to under the Christmas tree increases the joy and the anticipation of when that day comes, which is not just experienced on the day, but is experienced prior, on that day, and after the day.
I would also say this as well. Christmas is the most loved holiday in America.
Gifts.
And so, okay, you can say that, but here's the thing: a lot of people.
If you got gifts on Thanksgiving, it'll probably people will like it more.
And so here's the thing. Here's my point. So a lot of Americans most Americans do like Christmas. That's the most favorite holiday of the year. And so when people say that they love Christmas, right? And I'm not saying this is what I heard from everybody, but the most thing they usually hear when people say they like Christmas, oh, it's fuzzy. This is a time of giving. Remember the reason for the season. And so this is from a lot of people that say this. And so I'm just gonna make a general consensus from the statistics that I looked at. If a lot of people, if that's the most holiday that Americans like, and a lot of people are saying that, I can to a certain extent say that most people experience that feeling.
Can I ask a question?
What's your question?
Do you think that Christmas can be seen as a fake holiday? Meaning, those things are, like, you can have a consensus of these are the things that Christmas is about, but no one actually living it. Meaning, there can be a time of retrospection, but how many people actually see it that way? It can be a time of, oh, we're family, but how many people actually value that family time? It can be a time of.
You can say the same thing about Thanksgiving. All the knocks you want to give to Christmas,
right.
you can exactly give to Thanksgiving. The only knock you can't that you can give to Christmas that you can't give to Thanksgiving is the food. But the food is the least significant thing in Christmas when there are a multitude of things that Christmas will have and embody better than Thanksgiving. We're coming with the aspect that Thanksgiving isn't overhyped because we keep bringing it up. I don't know why. I don't know why we're comparing Thanksgiving to Christmas because there's no comparison. Because Christmas is better, and we know that. Look at it here. When you go on Thanksgiving, when you go, Thanksgiving is full of selfish gluttony. Literally, you go to the Christmas table to really you go to the Thanksgiving table anticipating like how much I'm going to consume, not even enjoy nice meal with family. You're like, people don't even care about the family time. Usually they think about the food. That's the first thing that comes up their mouth. And they have to be like, oh yeah, the family too. But they're like, no, that turkey gotta be made this way. Bro, if they don't have mac and cheese, I'm gonna go off. What? Like, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get 2-3 plates. But I have conversations with people about how many plates you about to eat before you go on break. To Thanksgiving. Christmas, you're like, then who you getting a gift? So that takes it off you. Like, are you willing to, even at this time of day, even though it's a culture thing, even if it can be feel forced, or you have an anxiety to be like, dang, I have to get a gift for someone, it actually takes you out of your seat of selfishness to be like, what are you gonna do for somebody else during the season? But Thanksgiving has nothing to do with that. But it's about how much I'm gonna consume.
But it's still selfish though, because you can still put it on Facebook and look what I got my baby.
If you can, I guess, live the way that Brian idealistically say that Christmas is, but by all means, but most people aren't. But yeah, Christmas is overrated.
I would say Christmas is definitely not overrated because that's the most loved holiday in the United States. And when we do talk to people who the people that say that Christmas is overrated is the lesser factor. And the majority of people that do like it, when they do talk about Christmas, they do talk about the factors that Brian talked about, of how giving and also receiving as well, having family time. But other things that we also missed out on Christmas is that the music and the movies. A lot of these things are, and the one thing that you know that's something to know if, or a factor to take into consideration to know if something's great, is when they remake a lot of certain things. So these Christmas movies, some of them are remade over and over again. The Christmas songs, some of them are remade over and over again. And so even though people may say that it's annoying, people still look forward to listening to those tunes before and after Thanksgiving. And so that's why I think it's not
Christmas
overrated.
playlist destroys every playlist.
It does.
Yeah,
it's most played playlists are in existence.
I think that's all, guys. We have a quote left over.
Yeah, so Silver got our quote for this week, and so hopefully it leaves some kind of inspiration for you.
And if you disagree and agree, just let us know.
Rip them, bro.
How foolish they are for thinking it's overrated. Really, not only think about your experience, think about other people's. Matter of fact,
I'm saying
put it in the comments. Put in the comments.
Audience, the wise will follow the wise. The wise will follow the wise.
Put in the comments if you agree or disagree or not. You know, even though even poor people like Christmas because that's when churches give the most anyway.
Anyway,
hypocrisy, really. But Sugarfoot, my inspirational quote today is coming out of Proverbs chapter 22 at verse 3. A prudent man foresees evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. And the main issue I want to hit home today is I'm not going to get too big into like end time prophecy and stuff like that. But like we are approaching the end of days. Like we are approaching the end of days with stuff like I'm not going to say that. But we are.
It's like with the presidency.
I'm gonna go a little deeper. But we are approaching the end of days, so like I would just encourage you as far as like make sure that you're right with Christ, because like what's coming on the earth soon, like you're going to need some type of hope, and if your hope is not anchored in Him, and this hope and is anchored in like your flesh or your capabilities or your own, just your own power or your own strength, it will not last. So that's my main thing here is like the things that bad times are coming. So just make sure that your rock is Christ.
Wise words from the scriptures and from Silver. And can you tell them also where they can find us on social media?
Oh, social media. You can find us on Instagram at Four Guys in the Mic. We're also on YouTube at 4 Guys in the Mic. It's with what's the and sign? The and sign called?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's an and sign.
The and sign. The and sign.
Oh, ampersand.
Ampersand, yeah. Ampersand. Sign 4 Guys in the Mic with an ampersand. Follow us on Instagram if you have any questions, if you have any topics that you might have wanted to talk about. You can put it in our inbox on Instagram. We may talk about a keyword May, month before June, month after April. We may talk about it. It's no guarantee, but we appreciate the work and the consideration anyway. So shouts out to yourself.
I hope you guys enjoy your Christmas. Hope you guys get into the spirit of giving, and we're out.
4 Guys in the Mic. Deuces.
All right, y'all.
Whoever made eggnog, shout out to your mother for giving birth to you.
Hey, praise God.
And we didn't even mention that in the episode.